Dad and I are in a race to win the Premier League. We started off in the Vanarama National League with Sutton and Hartlepool United. And recently we have been so good in the Premier League that we were actually challenging against each other in the title race. Only to drop off towards the end of the season and allow Liverpool to lift the league title. But the signs are there and we are knocking on the door. And so we began working hard in the summer to rebuild better teams, and Dad was getting big offers for his players. But he was still finding fantastic free transfers which instantly improve his side. I was looking out for a right back so that my Irish wonder kid can stay in the middle of the pitch in midfield instead, and that's when I signed Sorensen. My scouts though were constantly discovering gems like Hiroki Murashima, who was playing in the Japanese league still at 26 and looked incredible. Dad was also finding players too, such as this Colombian goalkeeper who would become his new number one, as well as a wonder kid right back that he splashed out £70 million for from Norwich but looked stupidly good. Early on though, we played each other in the second game of the season, and yet again Dad picked up a very good 3-2 victory over my Sutton side. But I spent all of my budget this summer, so let's see who I've brought to the club. Alright Dad, you spent big this summer.
Yes.
Quite a lot of players,
yeah.
but £171 million on just this page, and then obviously there's a couple of free transfers as well, but not all of them was this summer, of course. Just these four here. But you did sell a few players.
Yeah.
You got Amaro Nalo leaving for £31 million, Ariane Paul for £16 million as well, and there's a £12 million there for a right back. And the right back was a position that you brought in.
Yes.
As like a main signing, £77 million.
Yeah, I always feel it's like an important position, so I really wanted to get a really good one in. I've got a sort of a good defence coming up apart from that, so yeah, I've got him in.
19 years old as well.
Age. That age, that value as well. So.
Yeah.
He's good.
Gambling on him being good in the future.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
I think that's the thing, yeah. Okay, now Alex Jorgensen, £17 million, a good Danish centre-back that's come in there. Left-footed as well, good pace.
Well, he's both-footed, really.
Yeah.
So I think he'll cover both positions, but he can go up through the spine as well, so...
Yeah, and then we've got Otero, your goalkeeper.
Yeah, I needed another goalkeeper. I think one of my sort of reserve keepers wanted to leave, so I thought I'd just spend out a bit of money and get a better keeper than what my first team keeper was.
A new number one, yeah. Otero is that guy. The couple of free transfers, you got Diego Alvarez, centre midfield.
You can pick up a free transfer like this as well. I'll just jump all over him. Yeah, got him.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't
very good on both feet.
You're not playing that position, but he does play both of those.
Yeah, which I am playing. Yeah.
And then Felix Becker as a free transfer striker that you've got from Wolfsburg. So good signings.
Good transfer window, I feel, for myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Locking in Sene in the defensive midfield spot.
He's a good player, and if he plays further ups, but I want him to play there. He's not bad on the ball, his passing and all that. So yeah, I'm going to lock him in that position. Okay.
Well, playing the 4-2-2 formation, as you can see, if we best pick 11, he does go outside, but you've got a lot of options now.
Yeah.
Squad's quite big.
I feel my midfield is probably my really strongest midfield I've had since I've been doing this. So they're really good. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll have a look at your schedule in a sec. But first, let's see what I've been up to, because I've also sold quite a few players. £60 million has gone out here alone, which is Kieran O'Neill, Fernando Olmo, Maximiliano Munoz, of course, after just 1 year. Sold him for £26 million. Tony Matic has finally left as well. So some names that helped me get promoted has left the club.
Yeah.
It's kind of thing you have to do that. Ben Grist as well. Mikael Sorensen was the first sign. £21 million. Cracking right back. Danish, 30 years of age. However, he is now out for 2 to 3 months. Always happens to me. Great physicals, great mentals, though. Happy to bring him in. Then we've got Hiroki Murashima. Sounds like a Japanese wrestler. That's somebody that I would have supported when I watched Japanese wrestling. But no, he's a very good centre midfielder, and I'm actually going to train him to play in the DM role. I was thinking about training him to play right midfield, and I think he actually might have played a game there until I found a better player to go in that position instead of Tyson Downham. But he is really good. Physically, mentally as well. We've got a striker that I spent money on quite a lot, £56 million.
Yeah.
He's decent, and he's only 22. So, again, very much like the right back you signed, because of the age, you have to pay a premium for it. Because, obviously, at the minute, we've been signing quite a lot of players who are at the end of their career. And they cost a lot, but you haven't got them for very long. To pay a little bit of extra to get them for longer periods. I mean, he's obviously only 22. I'm hoping that within a few years, when he hits his prime, he's even better than this. and hopefully can help us win the Premier League. But there we go. We've got Breinberg there. I just seen a left back, which was a free transfer, and I went for it, to be honest. He's not amazing. He probably won't play that many games. Harvey Owen, £10 million. 31 years of age, can play centre back. So brought him in. Nikola Stojanovic. This is the right midfielder that I was alluding to earlier. Good right midfielder too. Can cut inside, so that's my idea there with my two right-sided formation that we've got. And Juan finally on loan, just a backup left back or left centre back. But what I'm looking at is his value is quite high at the minute. I'm wondering whether I can potentially pick him up on a permanent because he's better than the left back or left centre back that I have right now, and he's really good at like passing and stuff like that. So he's one of those ones where I can only get him on loan this season, but maybe I can persuade him to stay. We'll see. Sticking with the two right side wingers, because of course we nearly won the bloody league last season, didn't we? Obviously we were close, but we fell off near the end. But there were periods where both of us were there. Locking in two players though. McLaughlin, I finally want him to play just in the midfield. The reason why I bought the right back, obviously. So bringing in Sorensen, although he got injured.
He's going to be one of the best in the league, isn't he? In midfield.
Yeah, he is absolutely quality, but he's been playing right back for way too long. So let's give him a spell in that centre midfield on attack. And Morishima, I want him to play in that DM role. So schedule at the start of the season. You beat me again, Dad. 3-2. Not great for me. And I also lost to Norwich. It's probably because you gave him so much money.
Yeah.
What we did see was that they've also got a defender that you almost bought as well.
Yeah.
Well, you were toying whether to go for him or the one that you went for. Where is he? There he is, Fujiki, who can play both sides, Japanese. The Japanese national team is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the amount of Japanese left backs we have found that are decent is incredible. They're all really expensive too, so it's quite surprising. But yeah, Norwich are quite good, and they're second in the league right now. So they battered me 2-0. So good result from them. I did beat West Ham, and I did beat Bristol City. And of course, we're in the Champions League. I think this is the first time for me in the Champions League. So got some hard teams in there. We've even got Spurs to play in there. So Milan, Porto, good times. Skipped over doing a joke then, didn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, I can see you ready for it. Now, you're scheduled out at the start of the season. Although you did beat me, you then lost 6-1 in the following game.
Come on.
To Aston
What's
Villa.
that about?
Yeah, but you did beat Everton, and you also beat Leeds in there. You're knocked out of the cup already, which some would say is a good thing.
It is, but not getting it back. Not probably by QPR, though. I should be doing that.
But yeah, you're Europa League this season.
Yes.
Celtic, AIK, Chelsea's in there, Atalanta, Domzale, Hoffenheim.
Some good teams in there, but
Zagreb and AZ.
I've got a good chance of going all the way on that one.
Yeah, I think Chelsea is in there. It's quite hard, obviously. But Man United 2's in there, so you don't really know. But yeah, you never know. You could win.
Yeah.
You could. Okay, well, we came close last season. We put up a bit of a title fight for a while. But can we do it this year? Is it a step up or a step back? Well, unfortunately for us, the first half of the season was not good compared to last season's. And mine was even worse than Dad's, with some real bad runs and sitting in 10th place with him in 7th. However, while Barcelona was dumping me out of the round of 16 in the Champions League, Dad was winning his semi-final of the Europa League first leg emphatically 4-1 against Sevilla, securing his place in a European final with an easy 2-1 victory in the second leg. Either way though, he would be playing Champions League football again next season after finishing in 5th place, while I was out and in the bottom half. But a win against Chelsea, who finished lower than me, would be amazing for Dad and Hartlepool, and they took the lead in the final. Chelsea came back in the second half though and equalised to take the game to extra time, where unfortunately they scored again to make it 2-1. And to break Dad's heart, a third goal for Chelsea in extra time meant that there was no trophy for Hartlepool. Wow, Dad, it was a lot better season for you than it was for me.
5th, I'm going to take that.
Yeah, you got Champions League football again next season. You're only 5 points behind Newcastle United. Look how good Norwich was.
Oh no.
Norwich.
They were doing so well,
Yeah,
weren't
we
they?
mentioned how good that team was.
Joint top really, and they drew their last game of the season.
Yeah, threw it away.
Ooh.
Liverpool dropped off there, 74 points. They've been dominated and they've dropped down to 4th place. So obviously last season they won it by 7. They won it quite comfortably when we finished 4th and 5th. But yeah, they've dropped off a little bit there. Speak of drop-offs though, there I am down in 12th. Very unfortunate. And Chelsea tells me that you didn't win the the
Yeah,
Europa League.
I did see
just
that.
by looking at that.
Yeah.
Now, competitions for me, I got to the round of 16 in the Champions League, but it isn't too bad, to be honest. Facing Barcelona, they battered me in the second leg. I won the first leg, 5-1, but got past Rangers in the knockout playoff round. The league phase wasn't too bad, really. 4 wins there, draw, and 3 losses. Got hugely stuffed when I went to Milan, 4-0, but never mind. The competitions for you, Dad, you were the runners-up of the Europa League. So very unlucky not to win that one. Beaten by Chelsea in extra time. But the thing is, I think that we've really got to... We're not worried about the Europa League too much.
Well, no,
it's
but
great
it
to have.
would have been nice to win it, though, wouldn't it? You know?
But the fact that...
To go that far and be that close. I mean, I'm only 5 points off winning the league.
Yeah.
And I nearly won in Europe as well. So that's telling me I'm doing things right. I'm going in the right way. We've got a good team. It's just this odd team that pops up now and again that's sort of better than us, really, isn't it?
Yeah, Norwich coming out of kind of nowhere, really.
Yeah.
And Newcastle, we've seen, have had a good team recently. Obviously,
Yeah.
we got Yamal and Endrick as their new gen things. But yeah, they've built quite a team, to be honest, and done really well. So we've got our work cut out, really, to win this Premier League. It really is. Your goals this season came from Felix Becker, who you signed quite late, which was the free transfer, I think. 30 goals and 18 assists. Rather impressive for for a free transfer, but it does seem a lot of them was in different competitions. Rickard's still scoring 17.
Yeah, he's still doing it. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah, Lasse Elvius as well, still doing well, 16-11. So Jacob Novak's got quite a good season there under his belt, the new signing. The transfer budget for you, Dad, 32. That's coming down. £32 million next season. Let's have a look at the squad for me. 60. Oh, there's not a lot of goals in this at all. I think I finally have to step away from the 2 right midfielders. I think that's they've sussed it out after 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
They have sussed that one out. Murashima's done quite well though. 15 assists from that deep, so I'm happy with that. 23 million. Yes, it's coming down. Maybe it's because of the stadium. 7,000. It's still only a 7,000. I haven't moved club yet or moved stadium yet. But there we go. Financially, we're looking okay. That tells me something's been purchased because that's gone up quite a lot. Mortgage loan. Maybe a new stadium. We'll have to see. All right. Well, let's see what happens this summer then, because there's not a lot of players who are wanted. Do I cash in big on Ronan? I don't want to, but he is the most highest valuable player at the club after my striker, to be fair, actually. But nobody's wanting him, especially after only getting 13 goals in 40 appearances. This summer was dominated by striker news as Dad signed one from Rangers who looked really good for just 19 million. I was selling Tao Galuk to Real Madrid, which gave me a huge budget to spend on players to improve this Sutton side, including a South Korean striker currently at Aston Villa called Ju Yong for £60 million, but I definitely feel it was worth it. I know I needed to change tactic as well, and I went back to an old faithful that gave me promotions in the past, which was also matched by my dad and his very own version of the narrow 4-3-3 system. Quite a window for you, Dad.
Yes. No, I'm quite pleased with this, really. I've bought in some good players, especially with the amount of money I spent as well on them as well. So, yeah.
£44 million on a centre midfield, centre back. I don't know what you're classing him as.
I think I lost a couple of midfielders, so I was just getting him in to sort of like fill the gap as well. So, yeah, pleased with this squad.
South Korean. We're seeing quite a lot of Asian players.
Yes.
A lot coming out. And I love that because it's great when you get further into a save and there's like different nationalities that you can find a player that you don't tend to use. We've all bought Brazilians and Argentinians, and you know, it's nice to see and spread it out a little bit. We've got Japanese players playing for us, South Korean. It's quite fun, but what's annoying is when they have funny names. Jacob Ambike. Now, he's a real player, Danish, 32 years of age.
Good striker.
Really
pleased to get this guy. Free transfer, right? And his value, look at his value. Look, so, I know he's quite old. He's 32, so he won't be worth that much. But for me, it's a free transfer.
Classed as a legendary striker.
Yeah.
For Nice, he was banging in goals every single season. It is mental how many goals he was scoring in the French league.
I'll settle for him if he gets into the 20s for me as well. He's got 2 already.
Yeah, so, 177 in 223 games is unbelievable, really, for Nice. So Jacob Ambike, maybe he's good
on your saves, go and have a look for him. But the final signing, or the first signing you actually made, was Ewan McLeod from Rangers, £19 million. Another striker.
Another striker, yeah.
Oh, I wonder why.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. It's the three up front.
Yeah. I had to
Changed
really.
it.
I got two really good strikers in. I wasn't getting anywhere with the in the league, so I felt like I'm going to change it. So that's what I've gone for.
Let's have a look to see what I've gone for, because I've also changed my tactic. £157 million left the club. £62 million for Tal Gluck. A few others there. Nikola Stojanovic, which was my right winger that I bought last season for like £11 million, gone for 42. 31 for Marishima, another player that I only signed last season. So a fair amount of players have left the club already after only playing for us for one season. Started off bringing in John Ju Young from Aston Villa, South Korean again.
Yeah.
Look how good he is.
Yeah.
This is what we mean. These players are coming through and they're absolutely phenomenal. So I picked him up from Aston Villa for £60 million. He got 15 goals last season in the Premier League, 19 the season before that, and he's got 3 for me with 2 assists at the start of the season. Really good. Julian Lefebvre, good centre midfielder there, so good option from Lille that I've picked up. Matisse Delcourt from... He messaged me, he's like, save me! And I got him. He actually came for their youth academy, but there we go, Matisse Delcourt. Good centre midfield option that we've got there. So that's 2 free transfers, both centre midfield. Hergovic, left back, another option there at left back now for us, who was a free transfer. Then I found a couple of bargains back to back. So the first one, Michali from South Africa, actually goes into my first team as a centre back. Looks quite good, doesn't look unbelievable, but for 425k we'll take that, and he goes into the first team.
It's a good find.
Alongside Serge Kone, who I've loaned out because he also is a centre back, so we don't need too many, at Sunderland, who's getting first team football, I hope. But he looks good as well, and with a decent potential, 750k. So 2 good options for less than £1 million there. I mentioned him last season though. I loaned him Juan. He was the only Juan that I wanted to sign this year at left back, but I got the other one too. But I loaned him, and they recalled him after only 18 games, annoyingly, and then never played him. So I've had to sign him permanently, and it cost me up to £76 million. There was some instalments. Aaron Hunt would be proud, but we brought him in to sort of play left back for us, or left centre back, because he's very good at both, and he's only 21 with good potential. I'm looking at him thinking he could be world class.
Yeah.
Especially with the passing and the tackling, etc. So he comes in. But we've also got Sean Blinkhorn, great name. When I see names like that, I just think, gotta get him. He was transfer listed for £15 million. Sean Blinkhorn. Rodrigo Fischetti is the final player that I got.
It's getting worse, isn't it? It's getting worse.
Some would say it's getting better. Argentinian, good striker. Now, the story, I tried to sell a couple of players because there was one striker that I really, really wanted, and he was £37 million release clause, and I'll tell you what, it wasn't Fischetti.
No.
Finally sold a player, which was Marishima, who took the bullet for me, because I didn't necessarily want to sell him. I was quite happy with keeping him, but I really wanted another striker. And then I couldn't sell a player, and I had to sacrifice Morishima to get the money to bring him in. So Al Ittihad came in quite late, as you can see there. I say late, season hadn't started, but we call it late because we've been playing that window for a long time. And I thought, right, well, I can finally get him now. Didn't want to come to me. After all that, my scouts are telling me, get this guy. I was scouting him. He looked really good. Didn't check to see whether he was actually interested or not, but I did realise I needed another striker. So instead, I went out and found another one. I don't think he is better, but I think he's just as good.
He's good.
Yeah, Fischetti. So, I mean, I do prefer higher anticipation and off the ball, but that's, so be it. Everywhere else I'm kind of happy with. So that's the team that I have brought, and tactically, I'm also going free up front, but to my style of free up front, whereas you have the one in the middle dropping off, I have the 2 DLFs on either side instead. And I've got Fischetti locked into that position there to see what he can do. Now, schedule, we haven't played each other this season at the start, but I have lost 2 games already to Newcastle, who of course won the league last year, and Arsenal away from home, who scored in the 93rd minute.
Never let go.
Did beat Sheffield Wednesday, did beat Palace, and I got a nice little win there against Brighton in the League 2. Dad, you're doing a little bit better than me. You are yet to be beaten. Yeah. A couple of draws, Bournemouth and West Ham, but Chelsea and Bristol City with the wins.
I mean, apart from Chelsea, really, I haven't really played anybody that you would sort of think, oh, they're good in that league, and they. Yeah. So I'm looking at that thinking, oh, it's all right, but is it? I mean, Oxford is in the Premier League. It's my next home league game, so you know, I could go a few more games, a couple more wins, and get a good run going. So it's, but I haven't played anybody good yet, though.
No. Just in case anybody is interested, we still haven't moved stadium. So I don't know where that mortgage debt is. We're still playing with 7,000 seater capacity, which you can see here against Sheffield Wednesday, and of course Brighton selling out every time. It's got to be soon, surely.
The away fans take 5.
Yeah, I mean I can't request anything, which tells me that the stadium is in plans, because I think normally you can ask to expand or buy new stadiums. So I'm guessing it's there. We haven't seen it. Must have skipped over it. But all right, let's see what happens this season as we race to the Prem.
We have got to wait a while before we clash in mid-December, but honours were even as I visited Dad in Hartlepool for a match that ended 1-1. Liverpool were completely running away with the league title, but Dad and I were struggling to make an impact. Dad did great in the Champions League though and managed to get to the quarter-finals, but a first leg loss from PSG then made it very difficult to progress and he was eliminated. The second fixture against each other in the league though came really late into the season, and it was more about finishing higher than each other than anything else. You can also witness Ju Yong's brilliance as he put in the second goal to give us the lead, but it was not the winning goal as Dad's side scored a second corner in the 94th minute. However, Hartlepool's loss to Norwich on the final day of the season did cost my dad though, as a final day of the season win against Everton for me meant that I jumped ahead of him in the league table. Right, well, neither of us are challenging.
No, that's a poor season for me.
Just crept into Europa Conference League spots with 61 points. That's probably because you lost on that final day. Yeah. To Norwich, who were still there, 4th, by the way. Norwich doing very well. Liverpool reclaimed the championship, though, the title. 84 points, 3 above Newcastle. Then it was kind of like the rest, really, because Man City were somewhat off it, 11 points behind Liverpool, and we're all the way down in 7th and 8th, Dad. I mean, I'm 23 points behind Liverpool. You're 24.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that as a poor season, Rick. I thought we were both building a better squad, but obviously the tactic didn't help us then, really, did it?
No. Who would use 3 up front? What blithering idiot has got that in my head to use that? I went and sold loads of my wingers. What am I going to do now? I have to go back to a winger formation because some idiot said go 3 up front. It was me, actually. I made the first move to go 3 up front, and Dad went, I'm going to do the same. Jong Jung-Yu, 17 goals. Not too bad. 4 card.
I'm glad you all know it. It's me just keeping shut here. I'm thinking I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it.
First. Foucault also had 15 assists this season. So as a striker, he's done quite well, especially in the league. Just want some more goals, please. 11 goals, 15 assists there. It's not too bad, 7.72 average rating. But, you know, there's some of the players that Liverpool and Newcastle have got. We are struggling ever so slightly to catch up.
I mean, the only good thing is we're holding our own in the league, and one of us is always in the European games and all that. So
yeah, none of us have been in the bottom half and struggling.
So we haven't struggled yet. So
we've done better in this league than we did in the Championship.
Did you?
So there we go.
I think it's just the teams are above us that finish above us, the likes of Liverpool and Norwich recently and Newcastle have just got such good squads.
Yeah.
You know, they do it consistently the whole season, where we've been top a few times through the seasons anyway, but just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah. I mean, we are 18 seasons into this now. When we did Glory Hunter, the Premier League at this point was decimated. Yeah, there was no money in the league. Yeah. It was a barren wasteland for clubs because everybody was so poor. This doesn't seem like it.
No.
This universe seems to be slightly different. I mean, Liverpool's finances, £139 million. They don't have a massive transfer budget, but they're not like in debt.
If you look at the value of some of their players, their top players, you know,
they're asset rich as well.
Yeah, they're £200 million per player.
80 million at Man City, if you remember, they had no money, didn't they, when we were in Glory Hunter? Yeah. So they have only got 60% transfer revenue, but they've got a decent enough transfer budget. So we're up against it here because of the money situation. There we go. Competitions, quarterfinal in both of those competitions. But there is news, because we have finally got the Sutton United Stadium, which was built in 2040. So it was last year. Don't know when it fully opened, but at the start of the season, it definitely wasn't there. Oh, actually, we can tell because the fixtures gives us the first fixture, which was Monday. Is a Monday. Oh no, that was the under-18s played in it first. We played it on the Sunday, the 11th of November. So, Remembrance Sunday. That's quite nice. We played and we won against Aston Villa 3-1 in our brand new stadium, which, by the way, I think Dan's going to be kind of jealous. 26,000 seater.
Not bad.
With the expansion capacity of 40,000. So what I'm curious with now is if we can actually fill it. Because if we've just got, obviously we were going 7,000 at the start of the season, and now if we've gone to an empty stadium, it's going to be quite embarrassing. But it does seem like we're filling it. Look, that is the maximum capacity.
Yeah, Newcastle and Tottenham.
Yeah,
both.
every single. Wow, we should have built a bigger stadium. Because we're still selling it out. This is crazy. We're still selling it out. Good for us. All right. Now, unfortunately, on the pitch, it hasn't been too exciting. 21 goals with 11 assists from Jong-Ju Young. Fischetti didn't score as many as what I hoped. I bet Jung would have. That was the guy that I tried to side that didn't want to come to me.
He would have scored loads.
I call him the one that got away. The Great White Buffalo. You know, there's always one in there. There's always one that just got away when you were younger. Mine was Jung. Great ass. No. Anyway, Forsad. Moving on. Pierre Forsad. 13 goals, 19 assists. Still got Ronan, by the way.
Yeah.
And 2045. I can't remember the last time when we looked. Yeah, it's still that same contract. So he's still here. He's still unhappy.
Yeah.
He wants a new deal, actually. We just can get rid of that release clause. That would be quite good, actually. He's happy to stay here, which I'm buzzing with because he is a star player. He's absolutely incredible, and I need to keep him. I just need to find a better right back that will actually keep him out the side, but the trouble is he's too good there. I don't know where he played this season. To be honest, I'm okay with that because a lot of the time he's doing both.
Yeah.
And he's getting a lot of assists as well from both. So I'm okay with that. That's not too bad. And I guess my actual right back, Sorensen, he's playing 21 games there. Finding a right back that's going to be good enough to keep him out of the team is probably really difficult. There's not a lot in the world. Now, my transfer budget is only 11 million. Yeah, the Aaron Hunt instalment methods is catching up on me.
Yeah, definitely.
Dad, yourself though, I mean, competitions... 4th round in the FA Cup, 4th round in the Carabao Cup. The actual Champions League final is yet to be played, but where did you finish? We can find it here. You got through to the round of 16 and was knocked out in the quarterfinals against PSG.
You were in the final.
Yeah, you were in the final. It was a good showing, and you finished in the top 8. Only lost 2 games to Real Madrid and Monaco. Won 6, so you did quite well there. You even beat Liverpool.
Liverpool 4-2 in that one,
So, good stuff. Your... goals, 20 from Ambike, who's 33 now.
Yeah, that's the problem now, isn't it?
But
next striker's 32.
32. Striker 29 Rickard. Striker 31 Harry Leonard. Striker 30.
Well, I'm definitely not going to have 3 up front next season, am I? And the problem is, I'm looking at the value of the players. I've got one player that's really a lot of value.
Anthony James, of course, which is your youngster. And then Robert Alenia, who you've got loads of bids for. You just keep rejecting it because he's your good defensive midfielder.
Yeah. So do I cash in on one of them and then sort of start trying to build another team?
That's if anybody wants them.
That's right, yeah.
It's the trouble. Lassie Elvius, Norwich wants him. You can't send him to Norwich.
No, I can't do that.
But
how much do they want for him?
Oh, that's it. Because your budget, 18 million.
Oh, no.
Ooh, 37 million in the bank. You got all right bank. And your mortgage now is the stadium. Obviously, that you bought. That's the only thing you got left to pay.
It's the same stadium.
In the Gary Little Stadium.
Sure, that is.
Yeah, that's the same image.
Yeah.
I copied your stadium. Are you filling out your stadium home?
Of course I am.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
2,000 less than I am at Sun. But at least your club had a legend to name it after.
Yeah.
Mine didn't. They just called it Sutton United Stadium, which I kind of find quite offensive, if I'm honest, Son. I got you all the way to the Premier League. They're like, should we name it after him? No, he's too caught up on Joan. Right, anyway, This season then has been a tricky one, but next season, I think with that budget, we're going to have to be really smart with our money and figure out what we want to do with it. So the race to the Prem is still going, and if anything, it's getting harder than what we thought.
It certainly is, but that's why you do not want to miss what happens next as we take on the Race to the Premier Challenge.